Welcome to Must See Movies Horror Edition. I'm Matt Berenson. Today we'll be talking about The Boy 2. But first, let's watch the trailer.
Jude, I'm home. Jude. Gotcha.
It's fun to be scared sometimes, huh?
It's bad.
It's just a doll.
It's pretty violent. I understand that some of Jude's behaviors would be upsetting, but I urge you to find a place where he feels safe. I think it will be good for him. Good for all of us.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That must be the main house. Come on, Jude.
It looks like he was broken before and put back together.
Who's this handsome chap?
Brahms.
How'd you come up with that?
He tells me all sorts of things.
You okay?
I just think it's all a little bit creepy.
Is this your new friend Brahms? What are some of the things you talk about?
The other families he's lived with.
You want to take the doll away from him?
Yes.
It's just a whisper first.
Something is happening to him.
He knew your boy would find him.
Love you, Mommy.
I love you.
With me today talking about the movie, I have Poe Heckel. Poe, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about The Boy 2?
Oh, sorry. So essentially, The Boy is a film. It's a horror thriller, but it takes place in England, and The Boy 2 is based off of the first Boy, which I kind of found out, though, that you don't really need to watch the first one to understand the second one. But essentially what happens is The Boy 2 starts off with a home invasion, and the mother is Katie Holmes, and the father is Owen Yowsome or something. I don't know how to say his last name. And then they have a son named Jude, played by Christopher Carpenter, I think his name was. And essentially after the home invasion, they move to this remote area in England, and it's basically, for those who have seen the first movie, will recognize the property and the giant mansion, and they move into the guest house. And what happens is the little boy from the home invasion doesn't talk anymore. He's very mute and everything, so he goes off, he wanders into the woods one day, and of course he finds this creepy doll, which was the boy. And he finds the creepy doll and brings it back home and is like, look what I found. And basically what happens is the boy, the doll, starts to, in a sense, overtake the younger boy Jude and kind of sort of possess him, but also control him a little bit, and starts communicating through him. And at first the mom kind of is a little weary about it, but at the same time she isn't really sure because she's been having hallucinations since the home invasion and everything. So it's really interesting because the film is a lot of just back and forth between the son and the mother and basically their reactions to what's going on. So it's a little bit different than most horror thriller movies, if you will.
So, what kind of horror movie would you consider The Boy to be?
It's definitely it is thriller-ish. It's more thriller-ish. it doesn't really, it's basically, you know, they advertised it as a ghost movie, like, you know, like a slasher movie, but without like ghosts and stuff. So definitely more thriller.
Awesome. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
Probably an 8.
Cool. I would give it a 7. And Poe, thank you for coming. That is all the time we have. We will be right back with Must See Movies Horror Edition.
Every year, millions of dogs are left to fend for themselves on the streets, hungry, tired, and scared. There's no simple answer to solving the crisis of homeless pets, but there are organizations out there working to better the lives of these animals. Schultz Guesthouse is a non-profit dog rescue in Dedham, Massachusetts. Schultz houses up to 80 dogs at a time and provides a variety of care and services. Schultz's mission is to provide rescue for lost, homeless, and abandoned dogs, where veterinary care is unaffordable and protection laws are nil. They also provide socialization, human trust, and spaying and neutering services. Schultz focuses on adoption of healthy puppies and getting dogs into loving, forever homes. Visit Schultz's website to learn more about how you can adopt a dog rescue at sghrescue.org. For many years, cats and kittens have been unloved and abused. Since 1992, the Merrimack River Feline Rescue Society has helped over 177,000 cats and placed over 20,000 cats in loving homes. We are a nationally recognized non-profit, volunteer-driven organization committed to ensuring the health and welfare of feral and domestic cats and kittens by promoting proactive, compassionate, no-kill programs. We offer multiple services for all types of people and cats, from our Sunday free spray clinic to our foster housing program to our emergency housing program. How can you help? It's simple. We love donations like cat litter, food, toys, leashes, and donations. We also need volunteers, cleaning supplies, and trash bags. Help out today. Adopt, volunteer, or donate. The Alzheimer's Association is a voluntary health organization dedicated to researching a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Every day, they work hard to ensure that those who suffer with this disease get the care and support they deserve. This association hosts various fundraising events on a national level, such as their most popular event, the longest day of the year. The Alzheimer's Association also conducts face-to-face support groups across the country to support families who have loved ones affected by the disease. In addition to providing a free 24/7 helpline staffed with certified clinicians and specialists to offer additional support. For more information on the services they provide, you can visit www.alz.org or find their social media pages below. Join them in their mission to one day live in a world without Alzheimer's.
Welcome back to Must See Movies Horror Edition. I'm Matt Berenson, and today we're talking about Hereditary. But first, let's watch the trailer.
Come on, Peter. Let's just do it.
It's heartening to see so many strange new faces here today. I know my mom would be very touched and probably a little suspicious. My mother was a very secretive and private woman. It's Grandma. You know you were her favorite, right? Even when you were a little baby, she wouldn't let me feed you because she needed to feed you. She was a very difficult woman, which maybe explains me.
I recognize you from your mother.
What?
Sometimes I swear I can feel them in the room.
Oh my God! What's that?
She isn't gone.
She had private rituals, private friends.
Who's gonna take care of me?
You don't think I'm gonna take care of you?
But when you die...
She wasn't altogether there. At the end.
I don't like this. Dad, I don't like this.
What's happening? Enough! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother! Please stop! Mom, what's happening? Make it stop! Make it stop!
I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
Talking about the movie with me today, I have Amanda Tamborelli. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being here. So, what drew you to this movie?
A lot of people have said good things about it, and it got good reviews. And I'm a horror movie fan myself, so being in, self-isolation, I was like, let me give it a shot.
Awesome. So, what are some of your favorite parts about this movie?
I don't know. I really liked how it was kind of confusing until the end. And then even at the end, you had a lot of questions about it. And I liked, horror movies don't usually get to me, don't really scare me. And there's, one particular scene in this movie that I cannot stop thinking about. It really got to me, so.
Do you want to elaborate on that scene a little bit more?
Yeah, so it's where the son in the movie, he's sleeping in his bed, and then he gets up. He was kind of, knocked out before. It's confusing. But he gets up and he's super confused, and he's sitting up, and in the background you see his mom. She's possessed, and she's on the wall just behind him. He has no idea, and he's walking through the house, and she's just following him, and it's so creepy because whenever I'm getting up in the middle of the night, I think there could be a woman on the wall behind me. I don't know, it's weird.
So is that the point I think you would say is the scariest of the movie?
Definitely, yeah. Definitely that one part, because nothing in horror movies ever gets to me, and this one part is just making me super paranoid, so.
Awesome. So then it's doing its job. So in the movie, who would you say your favorite character is?
So in the beginning, they kill her off, but it's the daughter, and she's super weird, but in a good way. I don't know. I just really liked her. I was sad when they killed her off because she was so sweet and kind of innocent, and I still don't really understand why they killed her off, but it's okay.
And is there any connection that you have with one of the characters, or?
Just the son, because he's kind of going through all of this stuff. His sister passed away and his grandma had just passed away, and he's super confused. It's just a point of you didn't ask for any of this and it just kind of happened, and then you're just sitting in the middle of it oh, okay, family issues,
So how would you say this movie made you feel at the end of it?
Confused. Definitely confused. I had to watch the end twice, mainly because I was watching it with my mom and she fell asleep, but I would have watched it again anyways, just to kind of understand what exactly is happening, because they don't really tell you. They just show, at one point, midway through the movie, they'll show you a picture of a book, and it has a demon description in it and what you need to do to get him back, and that's really it. They don't really explain anything, and the second time you watch it, you get more out of it. So
great. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this?
Probably a 7, just because I feel there's some stuff that they didn't wrap up, or I feel they could have explained it a lot better throughout the movie, without giving too much away.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching.
The Center Street Food Pantry is a local food pantry here in Newton, dedicated to providing food and other necessities to families in need. The pantry helps feed about 400 families each month, averaging to around 2,000 bags of groceries. The Center Street Food Pantry sources around 90% of the food they receive from the Greater Boston Food Bank, receiving some of it for free or buying some at a discounted rate. Although the pantry does receive donations of food, they still require funds to help fulfill their mission. A small donation of $10 can help feed a senior for a week, and a donation of $50 can help feed a small family for a week. Volunteers are also needed. For more information, you can visit centerstreetfoodpantry.org. So, if you want to help, consider donating your time or money to help end hunger by the community. Supporting the Center Street Food Pantry right here in Newton. The Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals offers many services, such as leading vet care, humane education, law enforcement, advocacy, protection, and adoption. Along with cats and dogs, their adoption center also has bunnies and other small animals, like Chewy from MSPCA Angel. Rabbits are lagomorphs who can be litter trained and taught tricks. Spay and neuter surgery is a part of the adoption fee and is recommended as it prevents unwanted litters and increases their lifespan. It is important to learn about an animal's behavior and care needs before bringing one home. If a furry friend isn't right for you, there are other ways you can help, such as volunteering, monetary donations, and supply donations, like blankets, towels, treats, and toys. You can find their wish list on their website at www.mspca.org. Other ways to connect include Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hello. Have you ever been interested in a community building and collective care? What about creating a piece of art that can be cherished and utilized by a person in need? Empty Bowls is a grassroots effort across the country and around the world to feed the hungry in their communities. Empty Bowls supports food-related charitable organizations around the world and has raised millions of dollars to help end hunger. All the bowls are crafted by hand and used by making a donation to the charity in exchange for a simple meal of soup and bread, all the while educating yourself on the impact of hunger and homelessness in your community. It's a little work in exchange for a smile. If you have any questions about where you can join Empty Bowls in your community, contact Leroy Grubbs at 816-565-4300 or email leroy@emptybowls.com.
Welcome back to Must See Movies Horror Edition. I'm your host, Matt Berenson. Today we'll be talking about Gerald's Game, but first, let's watch the trailer.
This is gonna be good for us, Jess, really good. That's a marriage, isn't it? Working on the difficult things.
For better or worse.
Let's go in, get comfy. I bet you think your husband will be back any minute. Try to go for him. There's no one for miles.
Gerald?
I'm sorry, baby, you don't get to know my name.
I don't like this. I'm serious. Stop.
Like that.
Stop it!
Are you playing?
Is this really what it takes these days?
God, how did we go so wrong? We were happy once, weren't we?
Gerald? What? What's happening?
Oh.
Gerald!
Wake up. Just wake up. It's time to wake up, honey.
5 hours you've wasted screaming for neighbors that are half a mile away, if they're even here yet. How long do you think someone lives without water? That will not work. You can pull till your wrists break. You're not getting out of those cuffs.
You're not real. You're not real. Little baby, don't say a word.
Focus. You've been sleepwalking since you were 12 years old.
That's a beautiful dress.
He put you in those handcuffs way before Gerald did.
You all right? You all right, Mel?
You have everything you need to survive from the beginning. You just have to remember.
Back off!
If you don't wake up, you're gonna die.
With me today, talking about the movie, I have Jared Jaleo. How are you, Jared?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for being here. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the movie Gerald's Game?
So, Gerald's Game follows this couple on a romantic getaway to a cabin deep in the woods somewhere, and it takes us through their passionate lives behind the scenes and we get a glimpse at these like demons going on in the main character's head. And tragedy happens, and she has to survive and get her way out of these handcuffs before something terrible happens to her.
So, what are some of the obstacles in her way? What is she facing? What is she trying to get out of those handcuffs for?
So, without too many spoilers, eventually they leave, or eventually in the movie, they end up in the bed. She ends up handcuffed to a post, and a wolf comes in through the front door that they accidentally leave open. And then eventually some other things come in, and she has to figure out whether it's all in her head or if they're actual monsters and creatures coming in to try and kill her. It's a psychological horror, really.
So you would consider this more psychological. Is it a little bit gory? Is there anything that doesn't necessarily follow your traditional psychological horror?
So it's definitely gory. There's a lot of scenes that make you cringe. I know me personally, just thinking about it, I cringe whenever I think about it. But there is like copies of people, like things that aren't there but are there for her. It's all in her head, really.
Did this movie scare you at all?
I was terrified near the end. There is a creature or person in it that really makes you cringe a little bit whenever you look at them. But yeah, I would say it's one of my favorite horror movies I've ever seen.
That's awesome. So out of 10, what would you rate it and why?
I'd say 9 out of 10. I thought the acting was phenomenal. Just the story itself was unique and original. I think it was a little long for my taste, but I thought it was worth the watch 100%.
Yeah, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10 as well. That movie scared the living hell out of me. I remember seeing it and just being absolutely terrified. But that's all the time we have for Must See Movies Horror Edition. Jared, thank you so much for being my guest today, and thank you for watching. Approximately 6.5 million people in the United States have an intellectual disability. Picture your best friend. Now imagine your life without that person. For people with development disabilities, the laughter and excitement of a best friend is only a dream. Best Buddies is a lifeline to joy and of having and being a friend. These people need our help in order to lead a successful life. That's why Best Buddies base their organization off of running many programs that will offer participants with intellectual disabilities educational opportunities. Best Buddies teaches them social skills and job training so they can be more included in society and can be as independent as possible. Any donations would be appreciated. Best Buddies is a nonprofit organization, and we count on your kindness and support. If you'd like to donate, visit www.bestbuddies.org. Thank you. Founded in 1992 by MacArthur Genius Award winner Angela Duckworth, Breakthrough is a Cambridge-based nonprofit that works to narrow the opportunity gap for under-resourced students. Rising 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students from under-resourced communities attend summer programming and continue to receive regular support throughout high school. Through 6 years of intensive, tuition-free, out-of-school time programming, Breakthrough changes students' academic paths and support them along the path to college. It also offers a challenging teaching residency for college undergraduates under the guidance of professional teachers. Join and volunteer today at one of its 24 affiliated sites across the country, serving more than 10,000 middle school students and over 1,100 teaching fellows each year.